श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि स्वादयन्निह सर्वेषाम् त्रय्यन्तार्थम् सुदुर्ग्रहम् स्तोत्रयामास योगीन्द्रः तम् वन्दे यामुनाह्वयम् नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः यत्पदाम्भोरुहध्यान विध्वस्ताशेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहम् यामुनेयम् नमामि तम्
श्रीमत्कृष्ण समाह्वाय नमो यामुनसूनवे यत्कटाक्ष एकलक्ष्याणां सुलभः श्रीधरः सदा नमः यामुन पाद अब्ज रेणुभिः पावित आत्मने विदित अखिल वेद्याय गुरवे विदित आत्मने नमः अचिन्त्य अद्भुत अक्लिष्ट ज्ञान वैराग्य राशये नाथाय मुनये अगाध भगवत भक्ति सिंधवे
वशीवदान्यो गुणवान् ऋजुशुचिः मृदुर्दयालुर् मधुरस्थिरः समः कृति कृतज्ञ त्वमसि स्वभावतः समस्त कल्याण गुणामृतो दधिः
गुण अमृत उदधि
गुणामृतो दधिः गुणा अमृतो दधिः
you cannot stop in the middle in the three words gunamruto dadi
गुणामृतो दधिः.
yeah. The problem is dadi. When you say dadi, of course without visarga it means curds. Dadi means curds. Mritaha meaning with dead. We are talking about amrita here. So amrita udadihi. Uda means it is an abbreviation of udakam. Udakam water. Udakam is water. Toyam, jalam, neeram, payaha. So many words for water. Uda means udakam is a word for water. And we also say, for example, why I say this, we do parishechanam while we start taking food. And we say Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha, then morning you say Om Satyam Rittena Parishinchami. And then in the evening you say you just transpose the words Utantva Satyena Parishinchami. Then you have Amritopastaranamasi, Amrita Upastaranamasi. Now you are going to take nectar, the food. The food is nectar. That means it should create only health and not trouble. It should boost your health and not trouble. So whatever you eat, we say Amrita Upastaranamasi. Upastaranam is what is called the canopy, background, what do you call it? You say spread. You say spread. So you have a leaf, that is the Upastarana. Banana leaf. On Dwadashi day, you are not supposed to eat in banana leaf. So you have to use another type of what we call teak like tree. Teak tree. You have to take the. And then again, so the morning you say Satyam Ritvena Parishinchami. Satyam Ritena Parishinchami. Night we say Utantva Satyena Parishinchami. In Amritopastaranamasi, then you say all the 5 years, Pranaya Swaha, Apanaya Swaha, Udanaya Swaha, Samanaya Swaha, Dhyanaya Swaha. Then you say Brahmani Mahatma Amritatvaya Sri Govindaya Namaha. Amritatvaya, that's what I was. Why I say all these details even before taking up the verse Vaishivadanta. Is Amritam. Amritam is nectar. Whatever you take, it should be a tonic. It should be an elixir. ELIXIR. It should be, I told you just now, it should boost your health. It do not reduce your health. And again, so Guna Amritodadi is Lord. the qualities, characters are nectar to us. And he is a ocean of nectar with the qualities, so many qualities, namely water. Here it is water. So water is replaced by quality. Actually, gunadhihi, gunadhihi. It's a vast area of quality.
Thou art by thine own nature submissive to the will of those that take refuge in thee, bountiful, gracious, accommodating to the inferiors, guileless and reliable, pure, tender, merciful, blissful, firm, impartial, free from all self-regarding duties, ever mindful of the services of the devotees, and a nectar ocean of all auspicious attributes.
So now, Sri Yamunacharya, by this stanza, verse of Stotraratnam, directly talks to the Lord. He is almost like the recent Parashara Bhattar. Recent Parashara Bhattar means, of course, centuries ago, when he talked to Ranganatha. Now he is talking to the point is, Yamunacharya or many preceptors talk to the Lord directly. And while talking to the Lord, we have to appreciate him. There is no other way. You have to appreciate him. When you appreciate him, generally when you appreciate anyone, you get some favor from him. But here, of course, the preceptor does not expect any favor from him. But it is our duty to praise. Kartavyam. It is an individual soul's duty. Rather, what you can say, a living being created by the Lord to adore the deity. First one. So it is thou art. Where is the thou art? There is no. Twamasi, yes, Twamasi. The third quarter. Kriti, Kritagnaha, Tvam Asi. You are. Tvam you, Asi are. Yayadi. Tvam Asi. Very good. Right. Now, Tvam is thou. I don't know why this prose sentence in translation has been in a poetic word. Thine, thou, and so on. Generally, in poetry, they are using it. I don't know. I'm subject to correction. We use only these words thy, thine, that's how I said thou, thine, and so what are these are all the word exactly the translation of the word you in Sanskrit. This is only normally poetic word. Because the poetry is translated, I think he is using thou. Okay, so you are. So by thine own nature, by your own nature, swabhavataha. Now the word thine is not there in Sanskrit. Tava is not there. Again, please note, just now I told you, if I call Keshavdas Swami, I will call him Bhavan. Bhavan also means you. I can call him Bhavan. Hey Bhavan. He is at a distance. I am shouting to call him to come near me. The another word is Bhavan. Just means you. Bhavan means you. It's a respectful you. Tamil நீங்கள் அல்லது இன்னும் பெட்டரா இருக்குன்னா தாங்கள். நீங்கள் தாங்கள். In Tamil it is plural. Looks like plural also. And we also use in English royal we, நாங்கள். I don't say I. Instead of saying we. Here in Sanskrit, instead of using Bhavan, Tvam is used. Bhavan has got two syllables. The Tvam has got only one syllable. And the point here is, Preceptor Yamunacharya He has got freedom to talk to him in Ekavachanam, singular. He generally, of course, we have been seeing Parat Param. Lord is Parat Param. Param Brahman. We saw just earlier, in the earlier verse. Parat Param is above all, Almighty, greater than the greatest. Then how can you address him in Ekavachanam, singular? This is like what we call you talk to your parents, father, mother, grandfather, especially grandfather and grandmother in Ekavachanam. That is with an affection. Then they call you in Tamil as Vada, Vada. Little, you may not say disrespectful, but it shows affection. You are familiar with him. You are familiar with a boy. Even a boy in the sense, even in my age, because of friendship, you say Vada. And in what you call in feminine gender, Vadi. Poda, Podi. But such words are not available in Sanskrit, neither in Sanskrit nor I think. We use the word Hindi, Re, Re, Are. I think Keshadas probably knows better Hindi than me. So, what I say is, Tvam, with a liberty, with a freedom to address the Lord in Ekavachanam, singular. He says, you are. By your own nature, again, Swabhavataha. Swabhavataha, own nature, original. Swabhavataha, the peculiar word with what we call meaning of Panchami Vibhakti, ablative case, but easily used. It's an easy word, easy term. For example, if you want to say from Keshavadas Swami, Keshavadasataha. If you want to say from Shanta Madam, Shantataha. Taha and that's all. From Malini, Malinitaha. Govindacharya, Govindacharya Taha. Taha is called a Tatsat. It gives you two meanings. From and than. From and than. Here it doesn't mean than your nature, but it is your nature. By your nature. Rather, not even by it is in English. It is meaning from your nature. It is not exactly by your nature. In Sanskrit, it becomes from your nature. So you are from your own nature, submissive to the will of those that take refuge in you. This is what we call now a temple in Kanchipuram called Svannavannam Shaida Perumal. Sanskrit is called Yathoktakari. Keshadas Swami would have had darshan in Srirangam. One of the Sannidhis is called Yathoktakari Sannidhi. So Svannavannam Shaida Perumal. He did what the devotee said. Tirumesha Alvar said, come with me, we will walk out of the city. Kanihannan Pohindran. My student is leaving the city. My student Kanihannan Pohindran, Kamar Pungachi, Manivanna, Ni Kedaka Venda. You need not lie down anymore here in this temple. Tuni Ude Shenna Pulavanam Pohindran. I am a very good poet with a good tongue, with a what we call eloquent tongue. Tuni Ude, I am bold enough. I am not worried about the king who banished my student, who exiled my student. I have only one student. I am the only teacher for him. Well, we both are going out. You also pack up. Take your Adishesha, come along with us. Tuniyude Shenna Palavanam Pohindren, Mundan Painahapai, Shurutikul. He ordered. He says, don't come with bare hand. Bare, B-A-R. B-A-R-E, bare hand. You bear your bed. In those days, I think Keshavdas Swami and Madam Bhavati is named. Shanta and Malini would have known what is called hold all. My father used what we call hold all. It will take anything which we push in, pillow, dresses. So for travel, you have what we call hold on. So it looks like a bed, and you can take everything under the bed. You roll it down, tie it with some belt, and take it for travel. Hold on, it's called hold on. It's only in English. Everything is contained there. Now Tirumizhi Alvar orders him to take the hold on, namely Adishekha. So Adishekha has been tucked in the what we call armpit, and then he moves along with it. So that is why Vashi, the first word Vashi. He becomes influenced by the devotee. He becomes obedient to the devotee. He becomes slave to the devotee. Vashi. Whatever he says, he does it. Vegasetor idam stotram venkateshena nirmitam ye pathanti janastesham yatoktam kurute hari. You give specific instruction, order, he will obey. Who will obey? Lord will obey. So Vashi. Vadanyaha. Suppose you are asking for something, he will give you double of what you want, or triple, 3 times what you want, multiples of what you want. So Vadanyaha meaning a generous person. Look at the word here. Bountiful. The word bountiful is Vadanya. Then let us take the other words in English first. Submissive to the will of those that take refuge in thee is Vashi. Single two-lettered word in Sanskrit has been explained in many words in English. Sanskrit is known for its brevity, a brief statement. Brevity is the soul of wit, a proverb in English. Wit here meaning wisdom. Wit also we understand initially as joke, humor. Wit is wisdom. So Vadanyaha, so submissive to the will of those that take refuge in thee. When we bow down our head to him, he condescends to the demand of the devotee. Then bountiful is Vadanyaha. Gunavan, graciously accommodating to the inferior. Now I think he refers to the what we call the Shaushilyam and Saulabhyam. That's what English translator has given. His idea is to say Gunavan meaning highlighting only 2 qualities, namely Saulabhyam, accessibility, and Shaushilyam, non-differentiation of the status of whatever it be of the devotee. Because in the list of qualities you have got a list of qualities as you find in Sharanagati Gadyam, Vaikuntha Gadyam, and Sriranga Gadyam, especially of Sri Ramanujacharya. And of course, Ramanujacharya is only a descendant of Yamunacharya, and therefore Yamunacharya gives the lead to Ramanujacharya. So Ramanujacharya imitates Yamunacharya, and he also gives the list of the qualities. And again, the number of qualities is infinite. So Gunavan. So Gunavan meaning a charactered person, a person of good character, general. Then Rijuhu. Rijuhu is straightforward, meaning guileless. Guileless is what we call Rijuhu. Guileless is what we call no cunningness, no cunningness. Frank, oh, transparent. Today we say transparent. Your attitude is known to all. Rijuhu. And then Suchihi. I remember the word Rijuhu from Bhoja Champu, Ramayana Champu, where the bow of Shiva, presented to Janaka was the bed to marry Sita, and Rama was taken near the bow, and Vishwamitra gives him a signal that he must take it and use it, tie the what we call Tamil and Nod bow string, and then try to use it. And therefore, earlier it was Riju, straight. We say straight. No, we say the man is straight, meaning he doesn't mince matter. He is not hiding anything. So Riju. Then when he took the bow in his hand, when Rama took the bow in his hand, it was bent. So he made the bow bend, because in order to tie the bow string, he has to bend the. It's a flexible. Normally, bow is flexible because it's made up of bamboo, generally. But here it is Shiva's bow. Shiva's bow is different. Another bow is of Shiva is different. It's called Pinakam. Pinakam is the name of the bow of Shiva. You know, Gandivam for Arjuna. Kodandaramam, for Rama it's Kodandam. Kodandam is the bow. So we have names for these bows also. And Rijuhu, so he bent the bow. So as soon as he touched the bow, of course he wanted to fix the arrow, and it broke. It became two parts. Therefore again it became Riju. Earlier it was Riju, straight. It was a straight stick. Then it was bent by Rama to tie up the bow string. And again when it broke into two pieces, it again became Riju. That's why the Riju, Bhoja, the king Bhoja is playing with the word Riju. Now, another meaning there in that context is Janaka's mind became Riju. See, after promising Sita's hand, is actually faster daughter, but he felt that she is his own daughter. He said, "Iyam Sita Mama Suta." This Sita is my daughter. People today, like us saying, "This is my son, this is my daughter," is not peculiar. But she was found in the Yagashala. She appeared. She was not born. Ayonija. She had no soul. And she was born. She is only Avirbhava, appearance. So she appeared in the Yagashala of what we call the ground of sacrifice. And Janaka brought her up. But he became very possessive after bringing her up just for 5 or 6 years. After she is given in marriage to Rama. Rama was only just 13-year old, but all maximum 13-year old. 13-year young, and Sita was 6 years old. So why is it? So within 6 years he developed so much attachment. Because Janaka is not a man of attachment. Karmanaivahi samsiddhim astita Janakadeha is a statement of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Janaka was nonchalant, Nonchalant, because he was a good king. He administered the kingdom very well, but he was never attached to the kingdom. I think that goes to another story. I will tell you later what he did with his guru Yajnavalkya, the great sage and so on. So here, so Janaka, what you call, had announced a bet that his bow of Shiva should be used. Then only he will give Sita in marriage to that man who uses the bow. So he was Riju because he was straightforward. After Rama broke the bow into two pieces, Janaka immediately offered, was ready to offer Sita to Rama. Then Rama said, let me not accept to marry him without permission from my father. Therefore, he was Riju, straightforward. See, the word Riju is played by Bhoja in all the situations. Vishwamitra, as a teacher, could have conducted the marriage. No, your Dasharatha will take a lot of time to come, and then let us get married, and then when you get married, and then we will go with today children will do that. Get married in a temple, go to parents and ask for blessings. Speak with them. But Rama was Riju. So he was straightforward. Then Janaka sends the word by messengers. It takes a few days to go to Ayodhya from Mithila. And then they wait for the servant. But here, what I want to say, so guileless, Riju, Suchihi, pure, so guileless and reliable. We may be straightforward, but we must be reliable also, dependable. So that is Riju. Suppose you are a Rijuhu, in English you can also use the word rigid, R-I-G-I-D. Rigid, then nobody will approach us when I am rigid. It's not rigid, it is Riju with reliability. Straightforward with reliability. Then pure, Suchi. Now we are talking about the qualities of the Lord, addressing the Lord straight away, in the face, near, he is very near. He is Antaryami, take it as Antaryami. Look down at your heart and say, talk to him. Say some words. So tender, mruduhu. You can also separate the word mrudur, dayalur. So mrudur, then a gap and dayalur. Because you will not read it as durga. Mrudur, dayalur. Yeah. Then you separate the word mrudur, dayalur. Yeah. So dayalu, mrudu, tender, soft spoken. Then merciful, dayalu. Kripavan, Daya Karaha, Madhuraha, blissful is it. Blissful. Can you say sweet? No, sweet personality, Madhuraha. He said nice. How is he? You ask the question. He is very nice. But we can't explain what is the nicety. So Stiraha, firm. There you have some rigidity also. In taking decision, he is firm. So firm. Then Samaha, impartial. Samaha doesn't mean actually impartial, meaning equal. Samaha is equal. So equal in treating all the devotees. Samaha. Nobody can blame him. Now the problem here, the question in Shastras is, some people get moksha and some people fall fall into the cycle of birth and death, to never come out. So how is it? You say that he is Kripavan, Dayaparaha, Dayaluhu, very merciful. Then should he not save a suffering person than a devotee? Devotee can always be saved very easily. But what about a suffering person? He is not thinking of the Lord. In spite of it, Lord has to bless him. So in that case, we say Samaha. When a devotee spends a lot of time in adoring the Lord, then he is easily given moksha. Whereas some delay is there, some time lag is there while somebody is not a devotee. Samaha. Then Kriti. Kriti means grateful. What is that? I think grateful. It is not that. Free from all self-regarding duty. I don't know why so much expression, so hard expression is there. So Kriti meaning grateful. Kriti means grateful. He remembers with gratitude all that is done by the devotee. I have got many examples. In Krishna Avatara, while Lord Krishna at the age of 16 visits Mathura, where Kamsa has his palace, so he is met by so many people. One Kubja, a hunchbacked woman, a Malakara, a garland maker, a Dobi, thin man, one who washes his clothes, washes the clothes and irons the clothes. These three people, just example. Because of their help, their service, what Krishna did was went to their home, and then blessed Malakara, the thin man, the garland maker, the thin man, and the Kubja. Kubja is a hunchback woman. He made her young and beautiful, number one. He married her, lived there for a lot of time, and then came back to kill Kamsa. Grateful. I don't know why self-regarding duties, I don't know. Self-regarding duties. Do you have self-regarding or regard for your own duties? I don't know. Then Madhuraha, Sthiraha, Samaha, Kriti, Kritagnaha. Kriti, there are another meaning is fortunate. Kriti means fortunate. Kritagnaha is, in Sanskrit we say, Kritam Janati, Kritam Smarati. This is what we say in Sanskrit. So Kritagnaha and Kritam Janati, meaning he knows what the devotee did. What did the devotee do? Service. What kind of service? Today, the discussion was on Nama Sankirtanam in Kali Yuga. This is the Kali Yuga, black era in which we are living. And we have Nama Sankirtanam. Repeat the names of God. Now, what is the result? According to the Shastras themselves, Krita Yuga, you have to struggle a lot to perform sacrifices according to the process fixed by the scriptures. And so on. In Treta Yuga and Dwapara Yuga also, the strictures are more. The rules are strict. The process is cumbersome. But in Kali Yuga, they say, Nama Sankirtanam will do. It is enough that you repeat the names of Lord. But what is the benefit of repeating the names of the Lord? Today's discussion centered on the the utterance of names of the Lord in repetition will only remove the obstacles to your prapatti, total surrender. That's all. It will absolve you of all the sins that you committed earlier to prapatti. While doing prapatti, it will remove all obstacles on the way. That meaning, you will try to reach a preceptor. The preceptor will be available on request. You will approach the preceptor, get Samashayanam or Bharanyasam done, and that is what called prapatti. The opportunity will come near you. You have to catch the opportunity. So that is the benefit of uttering the names of God again and again. But we say in Sanskrit, Sanghe Shakti Kale Kalau Yuge, if you make a mass prayer, that will be very beneficial. And another type is you say Kalau Nama Sankirtana. You can get moksha by reading the names of the Lord. No, you cannot by reading the names of the Lord, you cannot get moksha. You may get some pleasure, you may even get some bliss, but you will not go to Vaikuntham by just Nama Sankirtana. You have to do some more what we call Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga doesn't stop with Nama Sankirtana. That's what today's discussion centered on. Now here with regard to this, so Suchi Vadanyaha, Mashi Vadanyaha, Madhuraha, Suchihi, Dayaruhu, Rijuhu, so many other qualities. Now we get Kritajnaha, grateful again. He is beholden to the devotees. So Tamasi Sabhavataha. Then lastly, you have the comprehensive word comprising of all the good qualities of the Lord, namely Samasta, all, Kalyana, auspicious, Guna, character, that is attribute, it says attribute. Translation says attribute. Okay, good word. So attribute, Guna, Amrita, sweet nectar ocean. Amrita, Udadihi, Amrita Udadihi. Nectar ocean of all auspicious Kalyana, all Samasta. Give the meaning, what we call the collection of qualities. The nectar ocean of all auspicious attributes. Now, by adoring like this, what is the use? What is the use for Yamunacharya? Yamunacharya only shows by precept and example the way in which we have to lead our life. Now, remember, every time Periyavachan Pillai is so specific that if we are not devotees, we will not get anything from it. Just now I told you, when you help someone, when you favor someone, your help will be returned to you by the receiver of the help. That's what we have been seeing. That's what we practically experience. But here, Vashi, he becomes influenced by the devotee only when only to a devotee, not to any person. So, ஆசிரிதர்களுக்கு வசப்பட்டிருப்பவனாய். You know the story which we saw in Gita Sangraha, namely Bhrigu Maharishi, the great sage called Bhrigu, went to Satyaloka Brahma. He was not regarded properly. He went to Kailasa. Shiva did not care about him. Then he came to Vaikuntha. Lord Vishnu was reclining on the serpent's bed. he didn't get up. Bhrigu got angry, kicked him on the chest. He didn't become angry with the sage Bhrigu. So Vadanyaha. Now the maximum what we call generosity, the maximum generosity which is shown by the Lord is he gives up himself. So what is the use of giving up to himself? Giving Lord Narayana giving Narayana himself. That is the Aprakrita Tirumeni, namely a supernatural divine figure. And we have what we say in Shastra, we have a privilege of sitting along with Mahalakshmi, Uma Devi, near the feet of the Lord, caress the palms and feet, then remain there in the bed itself. So such a freedom. So such what we call Vadanya. So free. So Gunavan. So just now I told you, in English translation also is referring to this particular quality, namely Shaushalya Guna. Shaushalyam is what we call non-differentiation of status of the individual soul. Then Suchi, Rijuhu. Now, we saw in Gita Prasangaraha also, good people are in the same disposition by deed, by mind, thought, and by action. This is what we say. Manasa, Vacha, Karmana. They are same. Mano, Vak, Kayangalal. I think we should lower the text so that, or I must take up the. தன்னையே சௌஷல்ய குணத்தை உடையவனாய் மனோவாக்கிய காரியங்களால் ஒருபடிப்பட்டிருப்பவன். ஒருபடிப்பட்டிருப்பவனாய் whatever he thought, he says it. Whatever he thought, he does it. So his action, thought, and mind, thinking are same. Suchihi, we said pure in English. So it is Bhava Shuddhi Udayavana. This is better than pure. You say pure meaning pure in the mind means pure in the body means you take bath and make yourself pure, remove the bad smell and so on. But mind is pure in the sense nirhetukamaha upakari. We don't expect the Lord to help, but He is helping. Nirhetukamaha, without any reason forever, without any reason whatsoever, or without any basis whatsoever, He is ready to help. He helps. Even though we are little away from Him, with indifference, He is ready to help. Nirhetukamaha. So without any basic reason, He is ready to help. Upakaritu. The Bhava Shuddhi. Today, somebody indirectly encouraged another person to fix some responsibilities to my family. And I got angry with the personality. The reason for their instruction is not reasonable, and therefore I got angry. Got angry in the sense, why should they come and give some instruction? So this is what we call no Bhava Shuddhi. Bhava Shuddhi is not there. So when others treat me badly, I must not retort. I must not pay him in the same coin. That's what we say. So pay him in the same coin. either you forget or forgive. That should be a Vaishnava Lakshana. That is what we call Bhava Shuddhi. You emotionally, you are balanced. Number one, you are pure in emotion. You never think harm for others. Even in thought, you don't entertain harm for others. Then Mruduhu. Adiyargalin பிரிவை பொறுக்க மாட்டாராம். When we say tender, soft, he is also subject to emotion. And when devotees do not think of him, he is sad. So that is what we call, we say tender, soft. When I say God is tender, God is soft, it is meant according to Perivachan Pillai that devotees should not be divorced from the Lord. So he is not ready to bear the separation. One example, you know, Adi Shesha is the first devotee, that's why he called Adi Shesha. Adi first, Shesha devotee. Shesha is a slave. Adiyargalin Piribai Porukka Maatadavanaai. Lakshmana, Adi Shesha incarnated as Lakshmana. As soon as the children were born, so one by one, Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana and Shatrughna. Lakshmana and Shatrughna were twins to Sumitra, born from Sumitra. Kaikeyi gave birth to Bharata, Kausalya to Rama. So Rama and Lakshmana were so close to each other. And Rama did not sleep if Lakshmana doesn't sleep. Now you would have observed such behavior with the twins. If the twins, when one of the twins do something, it is reflecting on the other twin also. If it is Siamese twins, you can also have dissimilar twins. And there got a lot of behavior. Here, I'm not talking about negative behavior of twins. So here, Lakshmana should be along with Rama, wherever he goes, whatever he does. So Adiyargalin Piribai Porukka Maatadavanaai. If it happens otherwise, the other one is unhappy. Rama was very unhappy. When Lakshmana was struck by Indrajit's arrow, Lakshmana fell down unconscious. Instead of trying to help Lakshmana, his brother, younger brother, Rama started weeping in the battlefield, in Yuddhakanda. As a meek person, timid personality. I am helpless. I am a man. That is what we are now saying. Karpanyam, Akinchanyam. I am helpless. Though I am a human being, I am not able to carry out what I want to do. So Lakshmana, when Lakshmana fell unconscious, and then Rama started weeping. Rama did not take any action. Then later only Vibhishana came and gave the solution. Hanuman went and brought Sanjeevani mountain. Again, Rama and Lakshmana fell unconscious. Sita saw them, got mentally disturbed. Trijata advised her not to worry. So these are what we call Adiyargalin Piribai Porukka Maatadavanaai. He wants to tolerate the separation from the devotee. He expects the devotee to spend the time on service to the Lord. Then Dayalu. Ashritarudaiya dukkattai sahikka maatadu. Look at the different explanation to different words. When we say Dayalu, we say merciful person, pitiful person, sympathetic personality. That's what we have been saying. But he says, he is not ready to tolerate the sufferings of the devotee. Ashritarudaiya, because many people approach me, so dukkattai sahikka maatadu. He will not tolerate any trouble given to his devotee. தயையை உடையவனாய். Then comes your what you call pity, sympathy. தயையை உடையவனாய். மதுரஹ, இனியவனாய் இருப்பவனாய். The problem with the madhuryam, the sweetness, is sometimes we are sweet, sometimes we are hot. We are sweet to somebody else and we are detested by somebody else. We are hated by some people, we are liked by some people. Why? Without reason. Then samaha, stiraha. அடியார்களை ரட்சிக்கும் விஷயத்தில் அசைக்க முடியாதவனா ரட்சிக்கும் விஷயம், அடியார்களை ரட்சிக்கும் விஷயத்தில் அசைக்க முடியாதவன். When he is firm in doing something for the devotee, he will not slacken his decision. He will not withdraw his decision. He will not go back on his decision. Once decided, decide. With regard to devotee, only with regard to the devotee. It is not a what you call it, never a selfish purpose for a God to fulfill some action. So, samaha. Samaha refers to ஆசிரயிக்கும் இடத்தில் எல்லோருக்கும் சமதம். In different contexts, if one devotee pleads for some demand individually, he may do that. But in a group, everybody is equal. ஆசிரயிக்கும் இடத்தில் எல்லோருக்கும் சமதம். We help someone, we don't help someone. When someone else is demanding help from us, we don't do. But when you go and help a person when not asking for it, that is what we call samana. Then kriti, ஆசிரியர்களுடைய காரியங்களை தன்னுடையவையாக நினைத்து காரியம் செய்வோம். Kriti is what we call the key person. And he will do whatever the acharyas have been doing, and acharyas will be giving us the benefit of understanding God. ஆசிரியர்களுடைய காரியங்களை தன்னுடையவையாக நினைத்து காரியம் செய்வோம். Again, he will critique an individual, a special individual soul which does action of the devotee. He is not worried about anybody else. He carries out the duties of the family. Kritagnaha. ஆசிரித்தல் செய்த சிறிய அனுகூலத்தையும் பெரிதாக நினைத்திருப்பவராக இருக்கும். So as a devotee, one might have helped the Lord. Small help which has been extended to by somebody. Then so Lord Srimanarayana becomes Kritagnaha. There is very light line of demarcation between Kritagnaha, Kriti. So you have the word Dayaluhu, Kriti, Kritagnaha, and so many other words. So what is Kritagnaha? Already I told you, one who remembers the help received, one who is lucky. ஆசிரியர் செய்த சிறிய ஆணுகூலத்தையும் பெரிதாக நினைக்கப்படுவார். காலத்தினால் செய்த உதவி, திருக்குறள், காலத்தினால் செய்த உதவி ஞாலத்தினும் மானப்பெரிது. If you give a help in time, a timely help, if you extend a timely help, then it will be bigger than the world or the universe. That means very important. Devotee might have done something very little, but he will take it, God will take it as a very big help extended by the devotee. Then Tvam, you, me, Swabhavataha, iyakkeyaagave, naturally, Samasta Kalyana Guna Amrita Udadihi. So, எல்லா கல்யாண குணங்களுக்கும் அமுதக்கடலாய் இருக்கிறார். So, you are the nectar ocean with all the auspicious characteristics of the Lord.
So thank you very much, Swami. Can I ask a couple of questions? First one is you were speaking about the story of Bhrigu Maharishi, Bhrigu Muni, who has gone to Vaikuntha, and he went to Vaikuntha and he kicked Lord Vishnu in the chest.
Yeah.
So my question is, how can somebody kick Vishnu in the chest in Vaikuntha? Has he gone to the actual Vaikuntha, or has he gone to some other place?
Though only gods like Brahma, Shiva, and others will have to stand on the shore of the ocean, the Milky Ocean, so that an interview appointment will be given by Lord Vishnu to talk to him. They are far away in Vyuha Rupam. But as in Pararupam, Paravasudeva, there are some released souls, lucky released souls, fortunate, special, privileged souls, like the four sages, Sanakaha, Sanakanandanaha, Sanat Kumaraha, and so on. Plus, of course, Narada is called also a sage. So Narada is the son of Brahma. He has got visa to go to Vaikuntham, come back again. So here, Bhrigu could go to straight away Vaikuntha, practically.
So
the Vyuha Rupa is not approachable very easily by all. And God can only pray from a distance. They cannot enter into the Milky Ocean and say, become closer to Sriman Narayana.
So the reason I ask this is because when I was studying with Ananta Narasimhachari, ANC, he was explaining that there are two Vaikunthas. There's a Karya Vaikuntha and a Karana Vaikuntha. So he said that the Karana, I believe the original Vaikuntha is the Karana Vaikuntha, right?
Right.
And then there's another Vaikuntha in this material world called Karya Vaikuntha, and that is the place where the four sages, the Sanakadi sages, went, and also it seems to me this is the place where Bhrigu also went. So what I want to know is in Shastra, where is the pramana for two Vaikunthas?
Did he not give you the proof?
No, he didn't give me the proof.
Yeah. Well, let us search for it.
But the reason I ask is because although it may be possible for people like Narada to go to Vaikuntha and pray, in Vedanta, we have the aphorism, no return, no return. That usually people go to Vaikuntha, they don't return to this world. But it may be possible for Nitya Suris, Nitya Siddhas to go to Vaikuntha and come back. And in Vaikuntha, they are praying. Even the four Kumaras, the four Sanakadi Kumaras, they went and they were going to pray. But in this case, Bhrigu, he's going and he's actually kicking Lord Vishnu. So this is very strange to me, because usually in Vaikuntha, nobody is causing some offense to God. Everybody's serving him, you know.
No, he had the liberty to go near him.
Okay, so one other thing I wanted to ask was, you mentioned that Harinama Sankirtana is the Yuga Dharma, is the Dharma for this Kali Yuga. But you also said that you cannot go to Vaikuntha by only doing Harinama Sankirtana. But if it is the Yuga Dharma, then should you not be able to go to Vaikuntha by doing the Yuga Dharma?
Yeah, generally. Karmanaivihi samsiddhi. Doing the duty will reach us to Vaikuntha.
So there are some Vaishnava Sampradayas, they emphasize this and they say, especially Gaudiya Sampradaya, some other Sampradayas, they say only doing the Harinam Sankirtana, we can go to the Vaikuntha, we can go to Moksha. But you said it's by only doing this, you have to do something else as well to go to Vaikuntha, and that is property, right?
Right.
So those people who do not, those Sampradayas who are not adopting property, they're saying that only by Harinam Sankirtana that you can go to Moksha.
Right.
So is there some proof that you cannot go to Moksha without property?
No, it is not there everywhere.
Okay, so simply by doing Harinama Sankirtana in Kali Yuga, one can go to Moksha, is it?
No, that's what I say. Nama Sankirtana will not be enough.
It's not enough. Even though it is the Yuga Dharma, it's not enough.
Not enough.
And so what else is needed is property.
According to the Varnashrama Dharma, one has to perform a lot of duties.
Sudras and women don't have a lot of duties. They can just do Harinama Sankirtana.
No, they can serve other divisions. That's what we say.
So as well as doing Harinama Sankirtana, you have to follow the Varnashrama system.
Right.
Without the Varnashrama system, you can't go to Moksha?
Yeah, by doing the Dharma, as I said, Yuga Dharma and Ashrama Dharma or Varna Dharma, one can go to Vaikuntha. And of course, we say Vaishnava Sampradaya says Prapatti is very important. Bharanyasa is very important. Others do not say.
Right, but what I'm saying is that if we read Manu, it says that only by doing Varnashrama Dharma can you please Sriman Narayana. But we don't see Varnashrama Dharma is fully instituted in any place. Even India is not fully being followed, Varnashrama Dharma. So does it mean nobody can go to Moksha because nobody is following Varnashrama Dharma?
No, that will not be there. The sincere devotee will be given the chance. Now, how to assess this sincerity of the purpose? That is one's own part.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand. So, for Sampradayas like Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, where they emphasize property is enough. Property is enough without Harinama Sankirtana, without following Varnashrama Dharma. But in other Sampradayas who are following Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, then Varnashrama Dharma is a must for them. Is a must for those people because they're not they don't follow the system of property.
Only Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya insists that one must do property. And Shastras also in our Vaishnava Sampradaya say that the process must be followed very strictly. So I asked today Karunakara Swami about
Karya Vaikuntha.
No, the three lines which you showed me from Annikam of Villivalam Krishnamacharya Swami, namely Drupadaadiven Mumuchanaha Sinnasad Bhimaladiva Bhutam Pavitrene Bhajyam Apachundhantu Mainasaha. I told him that our ancestors did not do it. And since Villivalan Swami has done it, so because he is your Acharya, then you don't question it, you do it. But of course, my question was to him, should have been, how about other sampradayas? Munitraya, the Swayamacharya, do they do this? Do they say this? I forgot to ask him. And he said, I belong to another sampradaya, then how do you ask me?
So
And,
I have seen this mantra. Some other sampradayas do it. I've seen it in other places.
And he said, and when I asked him the question, when they started chanting Samaveda, they said 3 matras and sometimes 4 matras. And he said, while beginning the chanting of the Vedas, one can say 3 matras, 3.5 matras, and 4 matras. Oh.
So in the beginning of chanting, one can say 3 matras or 4 matras.
Yeah, and also at the end.
Oh, so it's optional. 3 or 4 is optional. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But the books that I have, I've seen 4 in the beginning and 3 at the end.
Yeah. So I was trying to find out whether the Shastraic to the long O. I thought O will have only 2 matras, 2 seconds.
So the other question that I have about this is in Briguvali of Taittiriya Upanishad at the end, there sometimes they write 2, the number 2 in the Sanskrit. But why will we put 2? Because 2 means 2 matras.
Yeah.
But we don't need to put 2 because we have long and we have dirgha and hrasva swaras, vowels. So why do they put 2 sometimes?
Put 2
Why do they put the number 2? I can understand if you put the number 3, pluta, it makes the vowel pluta, makes it long, very long, extended.
Yeah.
But if you can put 3 or 4, but why put 2? Why do they put 2 in the text sometimes? What does it mean?
I didn't know.
I'll send you a snap of that. Okay. Thank you.
I will also see the Hayagriva property that you said.
Yeah, no, you don't have to do that because I found it on property.com. So I think he must have it correctly. So I can just check it according to that.
Right.
So thank you very much, Swami.
Right. Yeah. There's going to be a book published in the near future that Hayagriva, name Hayagriva, and the spirit of God of knowledge, God of education, is pervading all the 5 forms: Para, Vibhava, Vyuha, Antaryami, and Archa. The book is going to establish all elements.
Okay, so there's gonna be a book published which explains that Hayagriva is also pervading all these Paravyuha, Vibhava, Antaryami, and Archa, all the different forms. Okay, nice. I'll be looking forward to seeing that, understanding that.
स्वादयन्निह सर्वेषाम् त्रय्यन्तार्थम् सुदुर्ग्रहम् स्तोत्रयामास योगीन्द्रः तम् वन्दे यामुनाह्वयम् नमो नमो यामुनाय नमो नमः नमो नमो यामुनाय नमो नमः यत्पदाम्भोरुहध्यान विध्वस्ताशेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहम् यामुनेयम् नमामि तम्
Srimad Krishna Samattvaya Namo Yamuna Sunave Yat Kataksha Ekalakshanam सुलभः श्रीधरः सदा नमः यामुनपाद अब्ज वेणुभिः पावित आत्मने विदित अखिल वेद्याय गुरवे विदित आत्मने
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः।